How's it going, everybody? It's your favorite bird, Flamingo Bones, and today we're playing a special game on sidequest for the Meta Quest 2. Now, if you download sidequest, I'll leave a link in the description below on how to do that, and you can find this beauty of a game. Now, it's a simple racing game, and I just wanted to make a video on it to show it off because it honestly is like one of the coolest racing games I've played on the VR platform. And it's definitely a love letter to racing games that already exist in other franchises. So this is your starting menu. As you can see, you have a couple options here, but I wanted to go through and show you a few things you should change just to make the game feel a little bit better. It's got a lot of different things you can do in the game as far as like haptic feedback, comfort, driving position. So we're going to click driving position, and this is going to put you in your virtual car right here. Make sure to reset your rotation on your Oculus, and then what you're going to want to do is adjust your height down, what looks good to you, what feels good to you, to where you're sitting in a chair and you can still grab the wheel. You can adjust yourself left and right. So one thing that's really sweet about this game is you have automatic and manual transmission modes that you can go into. So if you want to be able to reach the e-brake and the manual transmission, then you're going to want to adjust yourself to the left and the right a little bit to where it feels a little more comfortable on reaching for those things, and then adjust yourself forward and backwards to where you feel like you'd be pressing the pedals. And then another really cool option they give you is to test out left or right hand drive. So depending on what country you're from or what you're comfortable driving, then you can try that out. Or if you're like me and you live in America and you're a weirdo and drive on the left side, then you can always try right hand drive and get your feel for it without actually wrecking like a real life car or something. So let's go back to the left here, because I'm used to shifting with my right. This position feels pretty good. So then you just hit save. You can go back and adjust this anytime. Then you're going to go to comfort here. I suggest change the wheel grab mode to sliding. You can keep it on fixed if you want. Your hand will be fixed in a position and it won't like move around on the wheel. You can't like slide through the wheel. So I recommend doing that on sliding. Keep head level to the floor, yes. Suspension feedback. You want chassis vibration on. Blinding on collisions. Turn that off because it gets kind of weird on the eyes. And then you can adjust your comfort settings here if you want a vignette mode, if you kind of get motion sickness and stuff like that. I don't, so I always turn it off. So back to the game, if you want to click and check your profile, you can see how many hours you have driving time in single, time attack, and free ride. Those are the three modes that this game offers. And now I will say, again, this game is free, so, you know, feel free to come on here and plan on as much time as you want and check everything out. You can delete your data as well. So that's your settings, your profile. If you come to extra here, really you can click supporter pack. The game is free, like I said, but you can give the guy $2 and you can get some skins for your car. In this game, all the cars look like this, and you can just get different colors. But if you pay the $2, you can get all these really cool skins here. And if you notice this one that I'm pointing at here, and if any of you recognize it, let me know in the comments down below if you've seen this anime. It's actually from an anime called Initial D, and that's like one of my top 5 of all time. So I can tell that the guy that made this game has a deep love for racing games, because that show alone has spawned a lot. So I definitely recommend getting the special paints. Just paying the man $2 if you have more than 10 minutes of fun in the game. I had a ton of fun playing it. So that's pretty much it for the settings, the profile, and about the game. Let's get into driving, huh? Let's see what that feels like. So you click drive, you go to single race, time attack, or free ride. I'm gonna go to free ride because then I can just do laps for as long as I want and not be bothered. Here's a couple paint options. If you do happen to buy the $2 pack, you can find those here. And before you start the race, you can always pick which side you want to drive on, and if you want manual or automatic transmission. I've drove a manual transmission for many years in real life, so of course I always do it on racing games. So and with how intuitive this game is, and it lets you actually shift the shifter, I mean, it's like having a driving sim but in VR. So of course we're gonna play it. So let's get into it. You're sitting in the car, you're in neutral. You're gonna put your hand on the wheel here, and then use your grip button to grab the wheel. And this is the sliding mechanic I'm talking about. See how if I was on fixed, when I hit the turn and it locks, see how I can't turn the wheel anymore? And then my hand slides like this. That's what the sliding mechanic does. So you kind of want that on so you can maneuver around your wheel once you hit that turn radius lock. And you can make your wheel turn left and right more degrees if you so choose, but I don't. And then if you come to this hand, of course you're going to use your grip button to grab the shifter, your grip button to grab the e-brake if you happen to need it, and then on this same hand you're going to have your gas on the top trigger here. See, that's your gas, and on this left hand the top trigger is your brake. So there's your gas and brake up here. You can't really see my controllers, but both triggers. You got gas, you got brake, and then you have grip, and you have grip. So you're gassing, you're braking, you're gripping. You kind of got to do it all at once. I'm not going to go over how to drive a manual transmission with you. That's kind of on your own fruition. But here, as you can see, nope, it didn't miss shit. Okay, don't do what I just did. As you can see, it honestly, it works all really well together, and it's super fun to just hit some laps. I play a lot of racing games, such as Forza and stuff like that, and I've always played manual transmission. I even had a racing sim at one point, but this is just like the next best thing, honestly. I mean, look how fast I'm cruising. And you just tap the brake here if you need it, oof, and you smash into the wall. So it's very important, remember to downshift when you go to slow down like that. And then if you want to get your drifting going, once you learn your driving a little bit, you can smash the e-brake, and it actually does work. It's very, very intuitive. This game is like super awesome, man. I recommend it to anybody that just wants to hop on here and have a good time. Don't forget, you do need to let off the gas before you shift. So it's kind of gets to an interesting point where you're like gas, let off gas, shift, if that makes sense. I didn't mean to shift down, but you get the point, right? And once you get going, I mean, the levels, they all look really good. There's about, I think, 4 or 5 tracks that you can drive forwards and backwards. Right here on this info screen, you will get your lap times, your fastest lap you've ever done, and your current lap. And you can just keep doing laps to try to get a better time. But free ride's where it's at for me right now. As you can see, I'm cruising in 5th gear. Don't even need to hit the brakes. Let's see if we can get a little drift going here without fucking up too bad, huh? Yeah, I fucked it up. The thing about that is you got to brake and you got to shift at the same time, so it gets a little difficult. But I just wanted to make a video on this because A, it's free. If you like racing games at all, I highly recommend giving it a try. It's super fun, and like I've just never played anything on VR where there's like a shifting mechanic, like an actual where there's like an actual manual transmission situation going on. So I think it's super fun. And once you get to racing for a while, then you can get to racing and have a lot of really good time. I mess up the shifting, as you can see. I promise you I've shifted in real life a lot. I drove a manual transmission for like literally the past 10 years, except for my brand new car that I have right now. But yeah, I mean, the game looks good. Everything feels really good. It's like in tune. Like when I hit the e-brake, it hits the e-brake. When I shift into gear or into neutral, it shifts it into neutral. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of sitting in a weird position in my chair, so it's hard to get down. But get a good chair, get a good position for you to sit in, and I mean, you can just sit here for hours and just keep cruising. What I did when I discovered the game is I had a friend playing at the same time, and we went into time attack mode, and we both tried to get the best lap. He, of course, whipped my ass because he's really good, but it's so fun, man. I could just come on here, sit in my chair, and drive. It's all like one of the best things about this game is that you can just come in here and sit in a chair. You don't have to stand up and be moving around all active. I will say that keeping your hand on the wheel and like suspended in air the whole time, you're gonna definitely feel it. But I mean, it's worth the fun. It's definitely worth it. And you're not going all crazy jumping around like normal VR stuff. You know, you're just kind of sitting in a chair, relaxing. If you could put an actual steering wheel in front of you, like sit in a car, or if you already have a car sim for your PC or something, sit in front of it and use the wheel as you're playing, and I think it would actually work pretty well. But everything in this game is amazing, man. And I'm pretty sure it's made by a really small developer of only like one guy, maybe two, and they put this whole world together, and all the maps are really cool, and all the cars, even though there's only one car, all the paints are really cool. The shifting works really well, the manual transmission works really well, the steering works well, the gas, the brake. I mean, I've played a lot worse racing games. I've tried pretty much every racing game there is out there for the most part, besides, you know, some like PC hard sim racing like iRacing or BMNG. But I just wanted to show it off. Like I said, I'll leave a link in the description down below so you can check the game out and give the creator some love. If you do play it, I'd recommend giving him the $2 just so you know, we can see more from him, because it's just a side quest game right now, and I would love to see like a full release with online and stuff like that. But who knows where it'll go. Just make sure you go to the creator, show him some love on sidequest, and if you like the video, make sure to leave a like and a comment down below. Alright, and before we go, I just want to show you guys one more thing. So if you go here, click extras and then click downtown club, Once you click the link, it's going to take you to this web page for Downtown Club, which is supposed to be the successor to V-Speedway. V-Speedway is a single-player experience, and Downtown Club, where they're looking to expand, release the game in 2022 with a bunch of new modes like championships, and being able to play online versus people. They're going to have new cities, new environments, new cars, different player profile stats, and different, even like new haptic settings and stuff like that. So it's going to be super cool. And like I said, the best part is that there's going to be online multiplayer. So there's a little trailer here for the game, and he's got a lot of different cars going on. Definitely support it. It's supposed to be coming out sometime in 2022, and it's just like a multiplayer version of V-Speedway. Kind of think of a midnight club, like an ode to a really fun, arcadey, but kind of simulated racing game. Like I said, I'll leave a link in the description down below for sidequests and a video tutorial on how you guys can download sidequest. I highly recommend you do download sidequest if you have a MetaQuest 2. There's like a bazillion free games that aren't released yet. They're like early access kind of titles from like small developers that can't get their games on the Quest platform yet. And like I said, you go in, you find this one. I thought it was gonna suck like horribly, and I ended up sitting here. The first time I played it, I sat here for like an hour and a half, just racing around time attack mode, trying to beat my own scores. So, as always, much love and peace out. I'll see you guys next time.